We are live on YouTube. It is officially 3 o'clock Eastern Time. How you guys doing? My name is Jared Fuller, a.k.a. The Jer Bear. Today's date is Sunday, July 24th, 2022. Dad and Amy will be joining me shortly. They had to step outside real quick. Dad usually joins me over here off camera on this couch, and then Amy usually sits over here off. Ooh, I got a little something on my forehead. And there's Dad right there, right on schedule. So he'll be joining us as soon as he takes care of the dogs. Chat logs open if you want to pop in to say hello. And, but, keep it civil. Otherwise, you'll be history, of course. So I hope you all had a wonderful week. Dad is coming in. Hi. Might have to turn that light on up there so they can see you. There we go. Did Amy go back out to the camper? Okay. Yeah, they can see you. I can see you. Got a little mark on my forehead. I don't know where that came from. Huh. Yeah, who knows? I'll leave it alone. I don't want to pick at it too much. I've been having some technical difficulties here and there with my internet. So if the live stream just so happens to go kaput, well, that'll be the show. And then I'll see you next week because I don't know what's going on with the internet. I've been having all kinds of problems with it. And I tried to contact CenturyLink through Facebook, but they give me a runaround, so I'm going to have to call them and call the 800 number or have a technician come out here, or I'm just going to cancel them altogether. What you're hearing in the background, of course, I got this fan right here, and there's another fan right down here behind me where you can't see, but it's really hot in here, and so we got to stay cool because it's hot. So last week was a bit interesting. We had severe weather come through last night. We didn't get any power outages or anything in our area, not that I'm aware. We didn't lose power, obviously. But we do need the rain. We got a little bit, but I don't know if it's enough to break the drought situation that we have because we're currently in a moderate drought. Severe weather did come through Michigan last night. There are some power outages more on the west side of the state over by Grand Rapids and Muskegon and places to the west. Over here, not so much. It's been rather quiet in terms of any heavy duty, weather or damage. But we did get some rain. We had some thunder and lightning. We had some nice rains, but I don't know if it's going to put a dent in the drought situation we have. So how was your week, Dad? Yeah, I'm talking to you. It was okay. You went to the races last night. That's going to drive me nuts. There we go. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. I have a busy week ahead. Dad has to be in Saginaw. Amy has to be in Owasso. I have to take my mom to Owasso, maybe, because she's got an appointment coming up on the 26th on Tuesday. And then Dad and Amy have appointments on Wednesday, the 27th. And then on the 28th, this is just new. I will be in Flint at the Dairy Queen location on Center Road for Miracle Treat Day, benefiting Hurley Children's Hospital and Children's Miracle Network. So they've started doing that again, and that's where I'm going to be. So I'm going to be in a lot of different places this week. I haven't decided if I'm going to Billy's tomorrow night. We were there last week. It was a great time. Kenfo was in the house. Rico and the boys. Always a pleasure to see them. They were at the machine shop in Flint last week. On Thursday, I didn't make it. They were sold out and just didn't have the money at the time. But it was good to see them again. The boys of Kenfo. They're pretty cool. And they are cool. Dad got to meet them. And we had pictures taken with them. And, yeah, they're really nice guys. But my mom has an appointment coming up on Tuesday, and I told her I would take her, but something happened on Facebook where I don't know. I love my mom dearly, but sometimes she overreacts to the most trivial of things. Now, I had announced on Facebook that I had all these plans going on, and I, doing all this running around. I'm taking care of business. If my parents have doctor's appointments, of course I'm going to take them to their doctor's appointments. Why shouldn't I? And one of my friends had left a comment, made a joke saying, "Oh, you're going to earn the title of chauffeur, because you're going here, going there." And jokingly, I said, "Yeah, now I know how Tony Danza felt, on Taxi." And my mom, as much as I love her, I love my mom dearly, but she flew off the handle. She overreacted. And she says, "Well, I didn't think, no, you felt that way. If it's such a problem, you don't have to take me," and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, yeah, it was just a joke. Here we go again, overreacting and, making a big deal out of nothing. And so I don't know if I'm still taking my mom. I told her I would if she needed a ride. She hasn't gotten back with me yet. But, it's just, there's no point in overreacting to a joke. We were kidding. What's that? Yeah, well, yeah, it does irritate me because it was just a joke. I know my friend was joking, and then she had to, and then my friend, had to put the qualifiers on. "Oh, yeah, it was a joke. I was kidding." It's like, nobody can take a joke anymore. You shouldn't have to put qualifiers on jokes. A joke is a joke is a joke. Sometimes a cigar is just a fucking cigar. And it was funny because it's like, she says, "Oh, you earned the title of chauffeur." And it's like, yeah, now I know how Tony Danza felt. Yeah. It's like, "Mom, I love you, but let's not make a big deal about this. If you need me to take you, I'll take you. It's not a big deal. It's not a problem." So there's that. But Dad has to be in Saginaw whenever, any time on Wednesday. Amy has to be in Owasso at 3:00. She's got an appointment. She had sleep study last week at the health park over on M52. And we had to wait. We had to be there at 5:00 the next morning to pick her up. And it's like, why so early in the morning? And yeah, we got her there at 8:30 at night, and then we had to be back in Owasso the following morning at 5 a.m. So it's like, okay, I guess. I mean, if they had other appointments, but at 5:00 in the morning, I didn't think they were open at 5:00, which I don't think they are open at 5:00 in the morning, because it's an outpatient clinic, I believe. I'm pretty sure. Don't mark me on that, but I'm pretty sure it's an outpatient clinic. Usually you just go right to the hospital. I don't know. So that was the crux of my week, running to appointments, and took my brother to an outpatient clinic in Saginaw because he cut himself, and because he was working on a car and he ended up cutting himself, and so I had to take him to the emergency in Saginaw and had to have like 4 stitches put in. So there's that. I had to deal with that. So there's been a lot going on. My health, in terms of my personal health, I'm doing okay. Dad's doing good. Dad, his doctors were concerned about his kidneys, and as it turns out, his kidneys are doing fine. Yeah, he's not a diet. For if you can't hear what he's saying because he talks so low, he's not a diabetic. He doesn't have issues with his kidneys. Blood pressure's good. Everything checked out good. It might be hard to hear him over the fans and the fact that he just talks low and you can't hear him. But yeah, so there's been quite a bit going on. I have my good days and my bad days, just like anybody else. And I've been keeping in touch with family and friends, and just I have a good circle of friends, a good network of friends who help me keep my head above water at all times. And it's nice to have people who actually give a damn about you, and they check on you, and you know, just random out of the blue, they'll pop up in Messenger, or I'll get a text message, or I'll check my email and, oh, I got an email from this person. Haven't heard from them in ages. So it's always nice to hear from people, friends and family. I've always got connections, and I don't think there's a single day go by where I don't hear from a friend. There's not a single day go by, and I love it. I love the fact that like every day or every other day, I got people popping in Messenger or texting me or emailing me. It's great. You know, it just shows that they love and care and they want to know how I'm doing. I haven't recorded any daily rants as of late, although I had one person in mind that I'm, you know, really frustrated with, but I think I'll save that for the daily rant. And when that's uploaded, when I drop that, you'll know who it is. I've ranted plenty about the same people over and over and over and over again. I think most people generally get the idea that there are dishonest people, there's snakes, people who are taking advantage of a person's vulnerability and cashing in as a result at their expense. And I think I've exposed them enough. I've put it out there enough so that way they know that somebody's keeping an eye on you and what you're doing is fucking wrong. I mean, you know, I'm not perfect. Never claimed I was. I've made mistakes, plenty of mistakes. But I'm not going to use a person's downfall to profit. I'm just not that kind of a person. I don't profit from other people's calamity. It's just not who I am. But there is one person that I'm going to be ranting about very soon. And yeah, it's a mom of a cancer warrior. I'll give you that much. You know, I never started doing the daily rants until one day I finally just snapped. I said, fuck it. I had enough. Now I'm going to start calling these people out by name. I'm going to put them on public blast. And that's the way it is. Yeah, I don't feel good about it, but I'm not going to take shit from people. I'm not going to be treated like crap when I haven't done anything. You know, but that's where we, and I was just having this conversation today with a friend of mine, how everybody is just so afraid. Everybody lives in fear all the time. And it gets so overwhelming. And it gets to be so complicating, especially when people who are genuinely nice people, they're you know, just by nature, people are nice and they want to help you. They want to put a smile on your face. They want to do something to lift you out of a bad place. They think there's some kind of ulterior motive involved, and immediately their mind will go straight to that. Oh, well, he's just being a little too nice. And so do you want to live in fear, or do you actually want to give somebody a chance and, you know, see where they go with what they do? I've covered this area any number of times before, and it seems like it just gets worse. People living in fear every day. I would rather not live in fear. You know, my life isn't perfect, far from it, but I wake up every day. While I have the opportunity and the privilege of waking up every day, and I decide that, you know what, I have to take charge of my life. I have to make best of the situation I'm in. And if somebody needs a listening ear, a shoulder to cry on, I can be that person. If someone would like to receive a letter or something in the mail from me to lift their spirits up, I'm going to do it. I'm going to jump on the opportunity. I'm not profiting, you know, like anything in terms of money, but what I get is the satisfaction of knowing that I could do something that makes somebody else feel loved and appreciated and welcome and accepted. I can turn someone's day around completely by just the most simplest of gestures. I help when I can. I wouldn't say that I'm parsimonious when it comes to helping people. However, if I can't do it, I can't do it. But if I can, I'll try. Speaking of, this coming Thursday, I'll be at the Dairy Queen, and I'll be, doing my thing and, raising money for the Hurley Children's Hospital in Flint. So I'll be doing that, and that'll be on, Thursday, this coming Thursday on the 28th. But it's with most people who do things, every little thing has to be seen and heard, because they have this mentality that they got to be the big cheese and everything. They got to be number one. It's still happening in the childhood cancer world. I don't need to see it with my own two eyes to know that it's still happening. You have people who are just grandstanding at somebody else's expense, and they got to be, worshipped and adored, and they got to have people groveling at their feet. I'm apart from all of that. I'm over here doing my own thing. And you don't always hear about everything that I do, which is what I like, because not everything needs to be known to everybody. Not everything does. But anyway, I'm just ranting. I don't know really what else to talk about. I think I've pretty much covered. So my Uncle Danny was here last week. Uncle Danny and Uncle Mark were both here. And Uncle Danny was happy to see Mark, and he came over to discuss some, personal matters. So we're doing okay, I think. I mean, we have our good and bad days. And there's days when, I can just get through the day, do what I got to do, go to bed knowing that I've accomplished something for the day. And then there are those days that, and like Dad and I were talking, there are days where we forget how to live. We forget how to act. And what I mean by that, we sometimes forget how to live is because the patriarch of our family is gone. And it's trying to understand, trying to figure out, how do we get through this day? How do we get through the next day and the next day and the next day? And sometimes we don't know. But I think it's safe to say that we do the absolute best we can every day. Grandpa would want that, first of all. And secondly, there's too much here that we got to get done yet. There's too much business that we have to take care of. We got to look out for our families. We got to look out for our friends. We got to look out for one another. And more importantly, we got to look out for ourselves. There's too much business. There's too much to do. And if I stay busy, and if Dad stays busy or focused on something else, we're not thinking about the other things that are dragging us down through the week. Yes, we miss Grandpa. Absolutely. Every day. It all happened so suddenly. I know Dad doesn't particularly like to talk about it, but because I'm not as vocal about this kind of stuff on my YouTube channel. Right. I know, but I don't talk about it on my YouTube channel. You and I talk about it off camera and away from the mic. And I talk about it on Facebook on occasion. But we are doing the absolute best we can every single day. It does get difficult. We have our moments. We have crying spells. We talk about joke, we joke around. We talk about things that Grandpa used to say and do. It would make us laugh. I can still think of a lot of things that makes me laugh that Grandpa used to do. But it's the matter of just getting through the day. We love him, we miss him, but we got to get on with our lives. As difficult as it is, we have no other choice. We have to move on. And of course, Grandpa would want us to do that. And yes, We've got business that we have to take care of. Got to take care of my bills. I got to check on my friends. Got to check on my family. Although they really don't check on us a whole lot.
No. But I noticed something about everything that happened
What's that?
with Grandpa.
What's that?
It kind of brought me and Cheryl and Tim and Dana all together. Closer.
Yeah, it did. It brought Grandpa's death had brought you and brothers and sister closer together. I think that much more closer. Which I wish it wouldn't have taken for Grandpa to die for that to happen, but that's how it is.
That's life.
Nobody's going to live forever. I'm not going to live forever. My parents aren't going to live forever. We have those conversations too. We have those talks, as painful as they are, because I can't imagine a world without my parents, but one day I'm going to have to. You know, nobody lives forever. And while a part of me wishes I would, could live forever, the other part of me is like, no, I'm glad I'm going to die someday. That I'm actually relieved to know that I'm not going to live forever. I'm not going to put up with all this bullshit. And yeah, they live long lives. Yeah, they live to be 104, 105. You got to speak up.
What would you be living for, though? Your bones are so brittle, and you start losing memory and stuff. So,
well, as Grandpa always put it, when you're able to do things on your own, when you're able to get around, do things on your own, you're living. When you're a vegetable being kept alive by a machine, you're existing. That's exactly how it is. I don't either. My Uncle Roger Harris, he was on dialysis, and it would, for those of you who know what dialysis is and how it makes people feel, the effects of it. Well, my Uncle Roger was on dialysis, and it was making him tired. It was making him feel sick. And he just said, you know what, just let me go. It's no way to live my life. Just let me go. So he did pass away. And shortly thereafter, my Aunt Joyce passed away. She had COPD. And I think she died in Saginaw. She died in Saginaw at the hospital. Huh? Oh, I don't. Yeah, they don't. But it's nobody lives forever. We're not going to live forever. You're not going to live forever. I'm not going to live forever. My dad and my mom and Amy, none of us are going to live forever. So, yeah, and yeah, you do have to live like tomorrow will never come. But, people ask me this question a lot. I guess it's because I view things from a philosophical standpoint and a viewpoint. They ask me if I'm afraid of death. And when I was a teenager, I used to be terrified of death and dying. And for good reason. I mean, I had cancer when I was 2 years old. And I always feared that it would come back. I would relapse and have to go through all that shit again. And eventually, possibly, potentially could kill me. But I just turned 36 on July 8th. I'm going to be 40 here in about 4 years. Now, my fear of death has gone away. And it's not just because I'm getting older. It's also because I relinquished my religious beliefs. I am an atheist. I'm not a Christian. I'm an atheist. And when I relinquished my religious beliefs, the fear of death had disappeared with it. Now, the reason that I don't fear death, I mean, I don't want to die anytime soon. But there's actually a couple of reasons why I don't fear death anymore. One of the reasons, of course, it's inevitable. You're not going to get around it. It's going to happen whether you want it to or not, eventually. You have to face it. But more or less, I'm not going to know it when I'm dead anyway. I will have zero awareness of my own death when it happens. How can I be afraid of something that I will never know happened anyway? At my grandpa's funeral, the preacher was talking about grandpa running into the arms of Jesus. I personally don't believe that. When you're dead, you're fucking dead. Grandpa didn't run anywhere. He just ceased to exist. That's it. I don't believe that grandpa went off into a dimension, an afterlife. I don't have any reason to think that happened. Grandpa is not even aware that he's dead because he's dead. You can't be aware of something if you don't have the conscience to be aware of it, right? So when I die, I won't know it. When Dad dies, he won't know it. We will have no idea we're dead when we're dead because you will have no awareness. You'll have no conscience. You won't have the conscience or the wherewithal to know that you're dead because you'll be dead. It's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy, if you will. I don't ever talk about my atheism on Facebook because I know it'll ruffle some feathers, and I would assume leave politics and religion off the Facebook table. I don't talk politics. I don't talk religion at all on Facebook. But here, I don't even talk politics because I think it's all bullshit. I'm indifferent to anything political. But religious beliefs, however, I will tell you I'm an atheist all day long. And people have said to me, well, the people who do know that I'm an atheist, they say to me things like, do you know where you're going when you die? No. Do you? Assuming that you do, where do you think I'm going? Well, if you don't believe in God, you're going to hell. Demonstrate that there's a hell. Better yet, demonstrate that there's a heaven. You can't. You can't. Nobody knows what happens that moment after. Nobody knows.
They can read in the Bible.
You can believe whatever you want. But your beliefs and what's actually true are two different things. I want to go by what's true. I can believe a lot of things. I could believe that Clifford the Big Red Dog has a huge bone buried in my backwoods.
I believe I'm going to hit the Mega Millions one of these days.
I can believe that there's a unicorn in my closet. I could believe that my dog is going to start singing the alphabet or talking. I could believe a lot of things. Doesn't make it true. I don't know. I'm not going to give an entire dissertation of atheism and why I no longer believe in a God or a heaven or a hell, because I'll just say that it's bullshit. It's bullshit. And it's not just about death. I'm saying religion as a whole is garbage.
Yeah, because if there was one, okay, Jared, they wrote one Bible supposedly. Here comes another one, and here comes another one, and here comes another one. They change the words.
They've got the Torah. Yeah, they got the Bible. There's the Torah, the Bhagavad Gita. There's all the Quran, all different kinds of text. Jehovah's Witness. You got all different kinds of texts and religious denominations. And they're all in conflict with one another. So how do you know which one's right and which one isn't? You don't. That's another reason why I'm an atheist. Because you can't all be right at the same time simultaneously, or better yet, you could all be wrong simultaneously. Either way, I don't care. Show me some proof. Show me some evidence of the claims that are made in the Bible. Show me evidence of a heaven. Show me evidence of a hell. Show me evidence that, people say all the time, well, God speaks to me and well, that doesn't help me. That doesn't help anybody else.
What's he say to you? What's he look like? or the sheep.
demonstrate that a God speaks to you.
Is it a he or she? You don't know.
Just demonstrate a God.
And you know what, Jared? This is what gets me too. If you're an atheist, right, and you go and you have a funeral,
Yeah.
how could that preacher say he's going to heaven when, wait, he don't believe in heaven, he don't believe he's an atheist? How they going to
No, he don't. You don't believe me. Wait, whoa. You said it wrong. He don't believe in heaven, and he doesn't believe he's an atheist. Well, if he's an atheist, then he obviously is not convinced that a God exists.
Exactly, but you're going to be shown at a funeral home, and they're going to tell you.
And they say that you don't believe in heaven, you don't believe in hell.
Right. So, you know.
I don't know.
That Bible's been written so many
Couldn't tell you. But anyway, I'm not going to give an entire rundown on atheism and religion. Although I will say that there are actually two different types of atheism. There's a hard atheism where people are saying that there is no God at all. And then there's a soft atheism where, like myself, I'm a soft atheist, meaning that I'm not saying there is no God. I'm saying that I'm not convinced that there is a God. Which is not the same thing. Saying not X versus I'm not convinced of X is not, those are two different things. I'm an atheist under the impression that I'm not convinced that a God exists. I don't believe anything the Bible says because it's just hearsay. And a talking snake, okay. That sounds like something that should go into a scholastic book, like, Clifford the Big Red Dog, or Humpty Dumpty, or Three Little Pigs, or, something preposterous as that. But anyway, I'm done with the religious talk. Now in terms of anything political, I never talk politics here or on Facebook because I just don't care. However, I will say that Biden did get COVID-19. It's not a joke. I don't care if you voted Republican or Democrat. COVID is serious shit. I've had the COVID. And on a human level, whether you love him or hate him, on a human level, I hope that President Biden gets better. I wish him well. There's a lot of people who are laughing at his expense, which I think is bullshit. You don't have to vote for him. You don't have to like him. But on a human level, at least wish him well. At least have the common courtesy or human compassion enough to say, from one human being to another, I hope you get better. And just don't be a dick about it. So, wow, I've been here for over a half hour already. That's a quick half hour. And only one person's watching. Hello, one person. Probably someone who's blowing a gasket because I just announced that I'm, I made it known again that I'm an atheist. I don't unfriend people on Facebook or block people on Facebook because they have different views on religion, or if they're atheist, or if they're anything. I have friends who are gay. I have friends who are bisexual. I have friends who are LGBTQ, members of that community. I have black friends, white friends, Puerto Rican friends, Mexican friends. I have friends from all walks of life. I have transsexual friends. I have friends from all walks of life. And I love having the diversity of friends because I can understand different points of view. I can understand different cultures. I can understand different ways of seeing things. And I just love them as people. I love them for who and what they are. And I accept them for who and what they are. And I wouldn't have it any other way. If they're happy, I'm happy for them. I don't know. I'm in a generous mood today. I'm not, uptight and fiery, and I'm not, I just don't have the energy to fight with anybody. I don't like to argue. It takes so much more energy to fight with somebody, to argue with somebody, than it does to actually, just be nice to people. Just be nice. Don't lie about people you don't like. Don't make shit up to get back at somebody. Because eventually, sooner or later, you're going to have to answer to those people who believed you and were convinced by the bullshit you were telling them. You're going to have to own up to that. Eventually, one day, you can sit here and shake your head and say, no, I won't. I'll never have to own up. Oh, yes, you will. Because sooner or later, those people that you lie to, they're going to start asking questions. They're going to notice something, and they're going to start asking questions. And now you're going to have to own up. Now you're going to have to face that music, because people are going to catch on really quick. Of course, if they don't come here first and listen to me speak, and I get them to think, I get the wheels turning, because sooner or later, people don't stay narrow-minded forever. I don't think that's the case at all. In fact, I know that that's not the case, not with everybody, because I have a friend who once was narrow-minded, and I say that respectfully, because she'll even admit that she was. And she saw the light. She started to think. She started to give it some thought. And then she says, you know what? That makes perfect sense. Everything you're saying makes perfect sense. And the more points I propose to my listeners and my viewers, the more it makes people think. The more it makes people less susceptible to believe shit without a good reason. And, these people just make shit up on the fly and thinking that there's no consequences, thinking that they can get away with it. Well, maybe you can for a while, but sooner or later, you're going to have to answer to those people that you've lied to for all these years. Yeah, sooner or later, you're going to have to. That's why I, in my daily rants, I always I'm not going to mention them here, but in my daily rants, I always mention because when those videos get shared on that certain person's Facebook, all of their friends, the people on their friends list, are going to listen to everything I say. Everything I say, it's embedded in the daily rant recordings. And when the trolls say, see, this Jared Fuller, I told you about him, he's this and that. Well, you haven't demonstrated anything negative. You haven't demonstrated wrongdoing, only that you've demonstrated that I'll call somebody out if they're going to be foolish. That's all you've demonstrated. And I don't have a problem pouring a little bit of that logic into your cup of coffee every day. Yeah, well, it's not a cup of fuck you. It's a cup of coffee. I want people to know when they're being lied to and when someone is telling them the truth and when not to believe something. Now, I've been able to fix a lot of broken friendships. These people who were once convinced of wrongdoing on my end. And then I had to explain to them that you've been lied to. And the lies don't just come from little internet nobodies who sit behind a screen all day long. Some of those lies even come from people who are supposed to be well-respected, well-trusted. They have nonprofit organizations. And for whatever reason, it escapes me, whatever reason they decided to lie about me and put their nonprofit organization on the line is beyond my understanding. Do they really hate me that much that they're willing to risk everything they have? To me, it just doesn't make any sense. And that's why I say sooner or later, you're going to have to pay the piper. You're going to have to own up. Because eventually those people on your friends list are going to start asking questions. You know, you say all the stuff about Jared, but you haven't demonstrated anywhere at any time that what you're saying is accurate. So now you got some explaining to do. Now you've got some explaining to do, and you better be honest. Well, now you're fucked, because now you got to take the mask off. Now you have to remove that layer. And you did it to yourself. You backed yourself into a corner. Now, there's lots of people that I would love to make amends with. And I'm being serious. There's lots of people that I would love to shake hands with, make amends with, and carry on. We don't have to like each other, but we can learn to live with each other and go our own separate ways. Or if you want to try to, repair a broken friendship, let's do it. Let's talk. Let's stay in touch. Let's say our apologies. But if you're just going to be pig-headed, bullheaded, and believe whatever you want for whatever reason, which, like I said, there's going to be a new Daily Rant recording soon, and there's going to be a name mentioned, and I'm sure that the Daily Rant will get back to that individual. If you want to have a conversation, let's have the conversation. But I'll be damned if you're going to sit here and lie about me thinking you're going to get away with it. Now, I left Twitter for that reason, because Twitter's bullshit. There's all kinds of bullshit on there. And it's easy to make up a fake name and use anime pictures because they're too much of cowards to show their true identity, which I'm just shocked and surprised at the number of people who will sit and read something bad about someone. They'll believe it, that they won't ask them to reveal their true identity. Why hasn't anybody done that? That should be the first thing to do. Show me who you really are. If you want me to believe you, show me who you are. Otherwise, fuck off. That's what should be said. Because at that moment, if they have to lie about their identity, then right then and there, they're lying about practically everything else after that. The first mistake is that they have to put up a fake picture. Now, the profile picture on my YouTube channel and on Facebook is my bird drawing. Everybody knows it's me. They use that drawing that's how they know it's me. Okay. That's how they know that it's me. And that's how they distinguish the real thing from whoever's pretending to be me, or whoever's, just talking shit. That's been my symbol for a long time, almost 10 years already. Can you believe that? I drew that bird symbol back in 2013, and we're going on 10 years. I want for people to ask questions. I don't like it when people are just going to believe shit for no good reason. I want you to ask questions. Don't just read something and say, well, it must be true because someone wrote it. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. Most people get that. And those people will get my commendation all day long. But for the people who are just going to blindly believe what they read without actually investigating and researching and doing the due diligence of finding out what's true and what's not, they're the ones who are going to suffer. Because if they believe that, they'll believe everything. And that's dangerous. You can't believe everything you're told. And I go off on a tangent talking about this all the time. I haven't had any problems in quite a long time, but I think people are starting to get it. Although, like I said, there's going to be another Daily Rant recording coming up very soon, and that person is going to know who they are because the name is going to be said. I don't care if I have to call out each and every single fucking person who's ever wronged me in my life. I'll do it. I don't have that kind of time, but I can make the time. So, anyway, I'm doing okay. How about you, Dad? Doing okay over there? It's like every once in a while, it hasn't happened in a long time, but every once in a while, some troll account will pop in here and say, "Oh, Jared, your name is on this and on that, and blah, 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 and you're being investigated, blah, 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 blah." I just give it the middle finger. It's just not true. Can't believe everything you're told. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's hot in here. Whew. Boy. Well, we don't have too much longer to go, and then I'm going to head back to my room and video chat with a friend of mine. Well, we got about 10 minutes left. I think I can hold out for another 10 minutes, but what's that? Well, they can't answer unless they come into the chat. Dad wants to know how everybody's doing. Be nice if you come into chat, but if not, you're gone. You're booted. But if you want to come in and say hi or what's that? Yeah, if they're going to behave themselves. If you come in being a dick, you're gone. But you can come in to say hi. Yeah. Yeah, you can ask questions. You can do whatever. Yeah, just don't start an argument. But, even if they do start an argument, I'll get the last word. Yep. Because this is my show. So, but I'm not going to wait around for someone to leave a comment. There's only one person watching. So, again, hello to the one person watching. I don't know who you are, but hello. Probably Amy out in the camper. Because she says she watches my Sunday videos from. Usually she's in here sitting on the couch being a part of the show, but I guess she wants to be out in the camper where it's cooler. Yeah, she could be. Well, no. If she's watching this, she couldn't be talking to her son. Yeah. But either way, it doesn't matter. To the one person out there watching this, hello. But we got about 10 minutes left. We'll just kind of sit and talk about random things until the... What's that? Yeah. We had some severe weather come through here last night, early this morning. That thunder was loud. The lightning was terrifying. But, I read somewhere. Yeah, I read somewhere. I read somewhere where lightning is actually beneficial for the earth. It cleans the air. And it does something for the ozone layer. So while lightning may be dangerous to human beings, which it is, it's actually beneficial to the earth. No. It does something for the ozone layer, and it scrubs the air, is what it does. In fact, I might be able to look it up. because I can't explain without actually reading. So lightning is lightning beneficial? Okay. So this is what I was able to find on Google. As lightning blasts through the atmosphere, it breaks apart nitrogen molecules. This allows them to combine with oxygen in the air to form nitrogen oxides. The rain dissolves these into nitrates, then carries them to Earth and into the soil. Yeah. Lightning may play an important role in clearing the air of pollutants.
Maybe that's why my grass grows so fast.
A storm-chasing airplane has shown that lightning can forge large amounts of oxidants. These chemicals cleanse the atmosphere by reacting with pollutants such as methane. Those reactions form molecules that dissolve in water or stick to surfaces. Well, this is interesting. Why is lightning important to Earth? Scientists think that over time, lightning strikes on Earth upwards of a quintillion times over a billion years could have unlocked phosphorus, a biomolecule integral to the origin of life on our planet. So, in other words, we may have come from lightning. Human beings may have come from lightning bolts. Isn't that weird?
I know. I'm very.
I'm ecstatic. No pun intended.
I'm bright. I can be loud too.
I can be electrifying.
I'm bright. I can be loud sometimes.
Yeah. I have a temper like a thunderstorm. I don't know. I think that's a Fuller thing, though.
I'm like a hurricane.
Yeah. Yeah. Hurricane Jer Bear. Watch the fuck out. But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting stuff to know. So lightning is in fact beneficial to the planet. I read some examples of how it is. But isn't it weird? Scientists think that human beings may have come from lightning. Well, I mean, I always say that we're a shooting star in our own time, right? Like when we pass through the universe, and this is my philosophy, we pass, shine bright like a star, and eventually the light fades out and we just disappear. You know, that's always been my philosophy. Well, they're talking about the beginning of mankind, living species that started evolution, the evolutionary process over billions of years between the greater apes and human beings, which, by the way, yes, we came from, you know, we evolved from greater apes. I know there's a lot of people who don't like that, but tough shit. That's the way it is. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of people who, like my mother. My mom says, I didn't come from no ape. Mom, we all did. Tough shit if you don't like it. That's science. It's a done deal. And I'm not here to pick on my mom, but she's just one out of many who will argue and complain. We didn't come from apes. Yes, we did. We are apes. We're all apes.
How do you think we climb trees so good?
Opposable thumbs. Ever hear of that? Opposable thumbs. We walk upright. We walk erect. That's evolution over time. Over billions of years.
We can climb trees.
I've never hung upside down by my feet before, though. I've never grabbed a banana with my toes. Have you ever grabbed a banana with your toes?
No, I tried that once.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. People don't like what if it conflicts with what they believe in.
They go back in history and read the book.
Oh, but they won't, because it conflicts with what they want to believe. They want to believe that some magical sky daddy created them. And that's just not what science tells us. We evolved from the greater apes. We are apes, whether you like it or not. That's just the way it fucking is. Argue that with a scientist, someone who actually works in that field of expertise. They will educate you on that all day long. But anyway, we are down to 5 minutes. We have 5 minutes left. 5 minutes, I said. You said 10 minutes. 5 minutes. So I guess I could do this now. Anything you wanted to add before we go?
No, I just say, you talk to your neighbors, and check on your neighbors, the elderly. Make sure they're okay.
Yeah.
Make sure your loved ones are all taken care of. And if they need help, help them. You know?
And there's a couple of things coming up in August. There's an event that I'll be going to for a local little boy fighting cancer. That's during the first week of August. And we're going to a birthday party on August 21st. Our former neighbor, Carol, will be turning 90 years old, and we received an invitation to her 90th birthday party in Owasso. So we will be there for that, for sure. You know, like I said before, nobody lives forever. We don't live forever. So while we're here, we got to make the best of this life. We got to make good choices. We have to try to always consider other people, circumstances, and situations. You always have to be considerate, but we always have to take care of ourselves too. We have to take care of ourselves and each other. And yeah, take care of each other and take care of ourselves. Take care of our kids. Oh, I don't have kids, but we have to put the greater good of humanity at the top of our fucking priorities. I know we hear about this all the time. School shootings, mall shootings. They just had a shooting in Indiana. There's always something going on where human beings are inflicting harm and detriment onto one another. This kind of thing has to stop. I don't know how we make it stop. And I'm not going to propose an answer here today because I don't have the answer. But I do know that if you want to make the world a better place, you got to help people in need. You got to take care of yourself. And you just have to consider other people's situations and circumstances. Now, it's easy for me to go on record and preach about being good to other people while simultaneously I'm going to be doing a daily rant, calling someone out for being stupid. Well, the point of the daily rants, basically, I wanted for people to understand how foolish and ridiculous they are. So that way they will change. They will see something and they will think, you know what? Maybe he's right. Maybe I could change this. I'll admit, I'm not perfect. There's a lot of things about myself that I have to change. Trust me, a lot of things. But I don't believe things just because someone tells me. I've had to learn how to do better. And the daily rant is to wake people up, to make them understand that what they're believing is incorrect and they're believing it for a stupid reason. It really sucks when you bend over backwards to try to help as many people as you can, just for them to put a knife in your back. I'm not going to stand for it anymore. And that's how I'm going to end this week's Sunday video. It is officially 4 o'clock. I'll be back next week. Sunday, July 30th, 2022 will be the next time that I'm here. So much love as always. Take care of yourselves and each other. And I will be back next week, guys. 3 o'clock Eastern time. Take care. Peace out. And we'll see you later. Have a good week.